What's going on, guys? Time for a little end of the week recap. So, as everybody and myself have been waiting for NVIDIA earning, talking about NVIDIA earnings, that is going to be the catalyst for continuation melt up or beautiful to the downside. Now, we did hit some short targets on the 2618 on the NQ before the NVIDIA bounce, and then obviously she snapped super high on the gap and go and continuation. Now, usually I start with the X calls and Twitter, but I didn't notice, but my phone failed to post, so I don't have the post call here. I did have a little bit of a trade of 8 fail here where my overnight swings, as you can see, did not group properly. So I had some nice momentum shifts here in P&L, and those are some swings. I had some lows picked out for some dip buys and from a short, so it went short to dip buy long, and one did not fill. These are all identical mirrored accounts in the trade of 8, and only 2 of them filled for whatever reason. Errors happen, but missed out on an extra couple thousand there at the end, but that's okay. We didn't have any other crazy trades, and the X call was the gap fills on NQ and ES. So let's go over those real quick. So as we got that panic up, I'll show you a few little things about the panic up here. We did have a data algorithm after hours here, which I did not see this morning. So I was looking for the ones on Qs, but here's an algorithm. I like to fib out these algorithms, push to the upside, right? And where's the top of that algorithm? Lo and behold, 2618, okay? So when we seen that algo, we fibbed it out, had the 2618 all the way back down, so on and so forth. So what happens when we usually hit 2618? This is the big profit take. 90% of the time, we do not go any higher, right? So we had the perfect algorithm after hours that I didn't even get to notice, did not trade the opening lot. I came back to trade these later, and we'll go over those in a second. But after that 2618 was pretty much hit, shy just a little bit there, we had the turn down, right? And hot, crack, Mac, crack, everything was happening here on the 5-minute chart pretty decently on that roll. And you've seen the break, lower high, and then just, you know, a drop, and an increase in seller volume here, increase in seller volume here, noting that we were going to snap back down. And what do we know about Fibonacci's? After we get to the 2618, if we do not go higher on a FOMO crazy melt up day, we are at the end of a holiday week. Lower volume and crazy NVIDIA watch. A lot of people got burned. I fear a lot of people will not be trading today. So we're not going to get that continuation volume to blow this thing out past the 2618. So once it hits the 2618, where do we go? It's back to the 1618, right? So after this dump, it plopped right through there. And then what's the next target? 100 fib. So as you can see, the stair stepping of the Fibonacci, you can check our videos for Fibonacci. We talk about fibs all the time, and we have a couple different videos of going over how to use them. So check out the indicators we use section in the bottom if you like. So when it came back down to that 100 fib, that is our bounce point because it ran its 90% course. I like to see this thing go up to 2618, hold 1618, back to the 100, back up to 1618, and then do whatever it wants to do. So any kind of continuation down here would be predominantly easy because we'll break here at the 507.44 and end up somewhere down here into the golden pocket because we have not tested the golden pocket of this algorithm. And the golden pocket is between 61.8 and 38.20. So this section of where the gold level is in the blues is not tested. We came down to it, top, and then obviously we get the run back up, and then we should get the short continuation down because that is the sequence we are seeing. Even with a higher high scam, we have a low, a lower low. Cross that dude off because oscillation helps us with the continuation to the downside here. Like so. And if you look at that oscillation, we'll look at a better chart because the 1 minute tells us a little bit more info about it. So this oscillation, this is what I played late day here because we got an extra 2,140 on 2 accounts and then 3,500 on 3 accounts. So did pretty decent there. Now, the sequence here, you can notice right here on that 1 minute chart, even though we did get that higher high, we were getting a lower high on RSI, and then we got a nice MAC reversal wave there at like 12:30 Central for that. So I played that short back down here and just grabbed a little bit back down to POC, let it chop a little bit. Then I grabbed another short back up here and just legged it down and just closed out. For those last 2 final trades kind of come back around. So I was just not too interested in trading in the morning because of the outlook, right? So following that simple Fibonacci, we had a top point and we had a target point because whenever something goes from the 2618, comes down to the 1618, comes down to the 100, then reverses, then inevitably will break, attempt the 100, then she'll magnitude the golden. Now, with that being it, let me show you the last 2 trade calls that we had. I wanted to do the NQ and ES gap fills, and all gaps fill, right? So we had a really hard one to work with today. But here's our 1 minute gap, the algorithm's left one right here, 18,042. And I really like to watch those always come back testing as far as fills go. So if we look at our price action today on the NQ, we maxed out on that 2618 that we had on the algorithm, right? And then we washed all the way back down. Why is this scaling so funny? There we go. We washed all the way back down to this gold level, which is the gap fill, right? So here's that 2618. We obviously had that extension up here on Qs, walked itself all the way back down, and that would have been my target short, the golden level of the gap, and that was right here, 18,042. And the ES also had one, and these are the posts I made on Twitter X, and for some odd reason my phone just failed to post, so we don't have anything on there, but did say to my main chat in the premium, so worked out fine either way. Now ES, the wrong one here. There we go. ES had one here at 5101, and that was the other gap on ES. All gaps fill, especially on the Futies. Once in a great while, it will not fill the intraday gap on the same day, but more often than not, it does. So again, heavy extension washing back down. Target is the gap. We had one 5101, right? So washed past that, picked it right back up, had a nice little bounce for the afternoon session, then looking right back down and just kind of chopping really close to that algorithmic gap, as you see right here, holding that gap as a support and just kind of chopping near it, right? And these gaps in 1 minute price action time frame, very rarely you get a 5 minute, will come back and be a historical level of support resistance, right? So just to cut that nice try, hope you guys have a good weekend. If you are wanting to trade with us here at BRT, or obviously with me on YouTube and the Trade Garage, we have links in the description for Apex. We have a huge deal going on in Apex for just a couple more days. That is 90% off of the 1-day pass, which is pretty crazy. And then you can come trade with me live if you want at the BRT. Link is also in the description, or shoot me a message on X. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay tuned for the next.